All right, today we leave Rotterdam to head to Amsterdam. It's a travel day. We're here at the bus stop waiting for our bus to Rotterdam. So we're out in a little village just to the southeast of Rotterdam. We came out here to stay for a couple of reasons. One, the UNESCO windmills, the iconic Holland windmills are just that way across the river. We were going to go yesterday and see those windmills and walk around, but we had a problem with the ferry, and so we didn't get to do that. The other reason we stayed out here is because out of all the Airbnbs in this area, the people in Holland have also taken to adding a bunch of extra fees to their Airbnb price, and the one that we stayed at here did not do that. They just had their fee. It was like 100 euros a night, which is really expensive for us, way outside our budget. But they didn't add cleaning fees, administrative fees, service fees, taxes. It was just a flat fee, and it was a bed and breakfast, so we got some breakfast. It wasn't a heavy breakfast, but it was something.
It was a breakfast.
It was a breakfast. It had some like lunch meats and some breads and some yogurt. Extremely light breakfast, but better than nothing. So now we're headed through the metro system. We got to catch a bus and then get on the metro and then ride a train to Amsterdam. So we're having to figure all this stuff out. The weather's pretty nice today compared to yesterday. Yesterday it was pretty rainy, nasty. But one of the experiences that we're having here in Holland is that nothing is priced properly. You go to buy something, like you go to buy a bag of potato chips or a bottle of water, it has a price on the shelf. I've had this happen to me with avocados, potato chips. This happened to me this morning with water. It's the weirdest thing because they add all the taxes into the price in a lot of Europe. So like if you see a price for something and say it's $1, like €1.40, that's your price. You pay €1.40 because they have all their VAT taxes already in that price, which is kind of nice because it's not like the US where you have to pay taxes on top of your final price. But here in Holland, either they don't keep up with things, they don't have it, as efficient, so the price of the product is changed and they just don't bother to change the sign or the tag. Or some of them are paper tags, some are these new electronic tags, or you get to the cash register and you think you're paying like €1 for something, and then they add fees to it, like carbon fees or whatever. It's the craziest stuff, man, and it's so aggravating. So you can't really go by what something says as its price here because you don't know if it's going to have the correct price or if they're going to add some kind of administrative fees to it. It's the most insane thing. The weird thing is that Holland so far has been the worst as far as the cost of doing anything. Like the metro system here is like as expensive or more expensive than any other metros we've ridden on. They force you to buy these cards, these plastic cards that cost like almost €8. And no other metro system we've ridden on has charged us for their cards, like Mexico, Colombia, Madrid, Paris. We just pay the fee. We get the cards for free, basically, or maybe it's a nominal fee of like 25 cents or something to pay for the card. Hello, good morning. So they really screw you here on your metro cards, and then you have to scan in and out of the system. Every time you get on a bus, you have to scan on it, you have to scan off of it. Every time you go on the metro, you have to scan on it, you scan off of it. But they said those metro cards would take you through any of the transit systems in Holland. They're good in the entire country. And that was the problem we had yesterday, and you'll see my video that I made yesterday when we were leaving the ferry, is that to get across the river to where the windmills are, there's no footbridges. So you have to take this ferry. They have passenger ferries, they have car ferries. So the car ferry's right by us, but it has a place for people to walk on. We walked on. They came over to collect our fee. We handed them our metro cards. They said, oh, we don't take those on this ferry. And I was like, well, what do the other ferries? They're like, no, the ferries don't take those. But when they sold me the cards and I loaded them up with credits, they said they would work everywhere. Even the Airbnb host was shocked when we got back, and he was like, what happened? And we told him, and he says, what? Let me see your cards. So he checked my cards, and he said, no, your cards are good until 2028. So even the people here were shocked that we couldn't use our chip cards to ride the ferry. So not only are the prices all crazy, a lot of even the people here don't have good information. They can't tell you one thing or another. Everybody gives you different information, and you're just walking around confused half the time. But at the end of the day, most of the time, you buy something, you think it's going to be good, and you get somewhere, and what you thought was going to help you get through a obstacle doesn't work, and you have to pay again, and you have to keep paying, and you have to keep paying, and you have to keep paying. And it's very frustrating. We're going to see if our chip cards work today. They should, but it would not surprise me if we try to get on the bus and they tell us our chip cards don't work, that we had to pay again. So anyway, we'll shoot some video as we move through the metro and onto the train, because we haven't ridden a train in Holland yet. This will be our first time riding the train to Amsterdam. Hopefully things will turn around and get going in a better direction, because I had such high expectations for our trip to this part of the world, but it's not lived up to those yet.